Good evening and welcome to our 2025 movie and television review. Where they hits, where they misses. Do you need to bother to watch some of these things? We're going to share our thoughts tonight. Welcome, everybody. Big John, always a pleasure to see you in the chat. I hope I see you Sunday at CliffsCon. Otto and I will be there. Yay!
Everyone's going to CliffsCon. I'm missing out.
You are, and there's 2 other cliffs too. If I'm lucky, maybe this time Otto will lift me.
No, well, we'll shoot for that, Cliff. We'll try that.
You know, I haven't had someone twirl me in ages. I could use it.
You'll be working on that core strength, Otto.
Yes, I'm trying.
Listen, Otto is more jacked every time I've seen him the past year. I've seen you how many times this past year? 5 times this year.
6 times. There you go.
Yeah, every time I see him, he's bigger.
You know what it is, Cliffy? Yeah, the t-shirts are getting smaller and smaller. Okay, that's what it is.
It's great. Every time I'm just grabbing him, like, look at them shoulders, look at them biceps, look at them triceps. You know. John is planning on being there. Excellent. So, how was your holiday, gentlemen?
Not too bad. Got a few decent gifts, so can't complain about that. You know, there's always some drama, but you know, it is what it is. Trying to stay positive.
And that's what we all deal with. We all have.
Yeah, I had a good holiday. It was drama free. I will say there was a couple points where you're with your family and somebody says something, and you're just waiting for somebody to react, and you're like, okay, that's good. Gift wise, I got some pretty cool things from the kids. I got something really, really unique from my youngest, which I thought took a lot of heart. He designed it himself. It was pretty neat. So I was very excited for that, and you know, it was great to have everybody around. The kids got some fun stuff, and if all goes for plans at Cliffs on Sunday, I'll be buying myself a Christmas gift. So I'm kind of delaying it. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up what I want at CliffsCon this Sunday in Plainville.
And I am totally trying to get myself a Christmas gift at CliffsCon.
All right.
Or a pre-birthday gift, or you know what? Or maybe a good dollar bin dive, because that always makes me happy.
Because you got to treat yourself.
You know? I remember when I met Scott a few trips ago, and he's just like, yeah, I got all these dollar bin Iron Man and Avengers. And I was like, oh my God, Scott, it's so great to meet you. So we'll see how that goes. My Christmas was genteel. And I've been forced to pick a Christmas/birthday gift, and it looks like it's going to be a new iPhone, because this one has put me through absolute hell this week. I couldn't even take holiday photos with the family, you know. And then I saw his text message, right? But I couldn't do anything with it. And then today he's messaging me all day, and I'm like, I'm at work. I'm going through hell. I'm like, I'm one of those people who have to work on the 26th.
Well, I did not work today, so in prepping for this great show, I spent a lot of time today getting ready. So I can't wait to talk about all these fun things we're going to do.
Nice.
For me, a lot of this is just a gentle malaise of things that I watched over the years. So which one should we start with, folks?
How about, I think the very first thing is the year that dropped was Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. How about that one?
Oh, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That was fun.
And I just rewatched that again just to keep it fresh in my head. And I discovered that Phil LaMarr had 2 voices in it. He was Lonnie's dad, and he was the professor that had the dreads as well. So always cool to find a new little nerd tidbit in there.
Well, right on, Phil LaMarr. Phil LaMarr's great. And I believe we've all met him, correct?
Yes, absolutely. At Terrificon, staple at Terrificon.
He is.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. You know, comic accuracy, we'll take it for what it is. But any type of animation, you know, growing up on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and even older iterations of, it's always fun to see this. I personally have a hard time gripping new animation, if I could say that right. But this, I thought, was when it's Spider-Man, I'm okay with it. And because of my love for Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and the cartoons that I watched growing up. So I enjoyed it. Definitely give it a rewatch. And I think if you haven't watched it, it's worth a watch.
Absolutely.
I
I've got
like it was MCU adjacent. I thought that was an interesting take.
MCU adjacent.
Yes.
Why, with the Norman Osborn switch as the mentor versus Tony Stark?
Yes, but like basically, this is like a parallel universe to the MCU universe.
Mhm.
That's what it was sold to us as,
Mhm.
right? And of course, yeah, Norman replacing Tony is quite interesting, you know. But we still get some Doctor Strange. Nico going to school with Peter, big change. But we also got some classic Spidey villains and some good fights.
Right.
Yep.
And I love the intro music. I thought that was very catchy. I like that it felt hand drawn, like as far as the animation style, which gave it a real more comic book feel for me. And I like the relationships that Peter was building. And I like that initially Norman gives him these suits that really work well, but when it ends up getting damaged, he ends up going back to the old classic that we're more familiar with. And it felt like the character felt more comfortable in that suit. So, and at the end, we had the drop of Aunt May visiting Peter's dad in jail.
Visiting
and I totally
Peter.
forgotten about that, which it was what a drop for the end of the season.
Yeah, it's like you're visiting Peter's dad who's alive and in jail. Like,
Yeah, really.
that was good. I was like, oh, Aunt May is spicy Aunt May.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you, just look at this art right here. Excuse me, guys. I've been fighting a cold for the past couple of days. This is very Steve Ditko-ish for me because I love the fact that, you know, Spidey is front and center in action with everything around him. Excuse me. And I just think it's really, really neat. So that's, you know, something that I gravitate towards. If that's like the first thing you look at, like a comic book cover, all right, I'll take a look at the rest of it. Let me see what we got, you know? So, and I love the eyes too. Very classic Ditko with the eyes and the black and the Spidey in the center. So, you know, you pick the comic book up and because of the cover.
absolutely. So I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. Everyone agreed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Oh, Rob, not near me in the chat, said that he can't recommend this series to children because of Scorpion impaling Spidey. And I'm like, it's an implied impaling, you know.
And do we like Harry Osborn? I liked him as a character.
I liked him. I liked him.
All right. All right.
Who's
So what do we got up next?
You have the order. I've only got 2 screens here.
Oh, I thought you were going off the photos. I apologize.
No, but the photos are like, you know, are still came to be discombobulated. So
okay, how about the Thunderbolts?
Is Ironheart?
All right, okay.
How about the Thunderbolts?
Oh, the Thunderbolts. All right. There we go.
All right.
Justice almost like lightning.
All right, Cliff, why don't you start it off this time?
So like I like most people, I'm not sure any of us knew what to expect with this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, our Yelena actually made a good lead. I thought they did a good job fleshing out, you know, all the characters that made it past the first 25 minutes. Which unfortunately didn't include Taskmaster. Yeah, J-Med says, I'm surprised how much I enjoyed this one. And I agree. I had very low expectations seeing this, and it actually is one of my 5 favorite films this year.
Really, Cliff?
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's number 4 or 5, but
okay.
It's in the top 5. I love the camaraderie, the acting. I thought everybody had something to give. I thought the plot was enough. You know, Julia Louis-Dreyfus reminded us this bitch can act. You know, that whole thing where she touched the Sentry, and you know, we actually saw her origin. You know, and like that was crazy. And then she like walked away like, oh, you know, like the way she was just like, all right, yeah, this is good. This is a good chat, and then got herself out of there. You know.
Well, Cliff, I can totally see you identifying it because your day job is dealing with damaged people, and this whole thing was about damaged people and their exploration and fighting through that.
Absolutely, but it was good. It was like really good. Yeah,
Mhm.
look, Thunderbolts was a competent MCU, whereas Brave New World wasn't. Brave, we'll get to Brave New World.
Yeah, we
It was
will. We will.
brave, it was brave of them to release that movie.
But I liked it. I like Yelena. I love Red Guardian. I love he is just a joy to watch.
Yes.
Every scene he is a scene stealer. Bucky, I don't know. He was okay in this one, and
Yeah, but I feel like because we've had plenty of him before, they were like, we don't need to get it. We don't need to get in the thick of it with him,
right. But yeah, it was a fun movie overall. I mean, for me, it wasn't like a knock it out of the park, but it was above mid. But I don't know. I guess I'd call it like a 7.8 or a 7.9. Not quite a B, but
I would give it a full 8. I would give it a full 8.
Okay.
We had a fleshed out roster. We had a valid threat. We had a solid story. We had a great cast. It checked all the necessary boxes. I think that Disney has screwed up their old MCU audience so much that this movie couldn't stick the landing, even though it was perfectly good. Oh, Hazbin Hotel season 2, excellent, and K-pop Demon Hunters, not on our comic book list, but yes, they were great.
All right, Otto, where you lie on Thunderbolts?
Before I heard your guys' excitement for it, I was going to say what the cool kids say. Mine was a 6-7 on this, somewhere around there. But where I think this movie lies is in the rewatchability of it, because of the character interactions, which really saved it, I think. You know what I mean? Like Louis Dreyfus, you know what I mean? To what Cliff just said. Amazing. Red Guardian, you're watching this movie, excuse me, guys, for the scenes and the interaction. The story, it flows well. I mean, the Sentry was a great villain, not my favorite. I believe that for a story to be amazing, it has to have a hard villain. I don't know why. If they would have battled like some street level terrorists, or like, I understand the psychology of it, and I understand how they did it. And I thought they did it well, but if you could have brought down the villain just a couple more steps, and you would have seen how were they able to work together as a team with, Red Guardian and Yelena and Captain America's character. I can't think of it right there. To work together, I thought it would have been good, but again, I think you can watch this a couple times and appreciate it for the scenes. So, you know what? I thought a 6-7, but I'd give it a 7 right now after what you guys said and listen to your excitability on it. So, but the rewatchability for the character interactions, because how many times are you going to have, Red Guardian interacting with, Winter Soldier, in a movie with, Yelena? I think that's what makes a fun movie, because you're not seeing those in comic books, but you're watching it as a comic book on the big screen, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's what I think this is fun with. So I liked it. I would have watched it a couple more times. So I'll definitely, you know what? You guys have brought me up to a solid 7 on this.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So let's see. That's Thunderbolts. How about we go DC with Aztec Batman?
Oh, Aztec Batman.
A little animated jammy.
Aztec Batman, where are you? You're hiding here somewhere. Oh, wow. It is what it is. All right. So I'm going to just tell you, I never saw this. I first heard of it when you mentioned it the other day.
Oh, my God.
I had no time this week to just squeeze in Batman Azteca just because, Choque de Imperios. So clearly, I should be the target audience for this.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is Clash of the Empires. So
yes,
obviously,
it is.
That is the Spanish poster. But I just saw it this week for the first time. They just dropped it on HBO Max, where it's the home of all the DC animated and live action stuff. I thought it was a fun story. I was kind of medium on the animation style, but I thought the story was good. They blended sort of history with Cortez coming in and, trying to take the land from the Aztecs. and our hero ends up slicing Cortez's face, and he becomes Two-Face. And then
all right.
And then there is another character that is being whispered to by like a mad god, and ends up destroying his whole family, and he goes mad, and he ends up becoming the Joker character. So it was fun. It was a nice integration of sort of history or a twisting of history with a little Batman in there. And I really enjoyed the story. I think it's solid. I definitely think it's worth checking out. And I think it's even like a solid, I want to give it like an 8.2. Even with I think the animation holds it back. That might have made it like an 8.5. So bring it down. But the story I thought was strong. And I like the integration. And I like Elseworld stories in general. So 8.2 for me.
Well,
All right. So I'm just going to jump right in and say, you know what? Tomorrow when I'm snowed in my house, I'm going to watch this because this is something I could not watch or did not have the availability to. But if it's in Elseworlds things, if it's history with the Aztecs, and if you're saying that they're going to bring those characters in, you know what? I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning, and I challenge anybody in the chat who's going to be at CliffsCon to let's talk about this on Sunday at CliffsCon.
yeah.
Nice.
So I'm definitely going to give this a shot.
So this was an HBO Max Latin America original, right? The first ever collaboration between Warner Brothers and Mexico's Anima producer Chatron, right? And so this project was announced at the 37th Guadalajara International Film Festival. So that's how excited they were. The original Spanish language animated film takes place in the iconic DC superhero against the backdrop of Aztec Mexico and immerses viewers in the enigmatic culture of Mesoamerica. All right, I'm in.
Let's give it a shot. Let's all talk about it on Sunday when we see each other.
We will. I'll find you. Maybe I'll twirl around Magic Mike. It'll be great.
All right. Let's see. All right, guys. How about Daredevil Born Again?
Yeah.
Okay. So who wants to go?
Let Otto go because he went, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I am all in on this, you guys. I am all in on Daredevil Born Again. I am so in on this that after meeting Charlie Cox at Terrificon 2 years ago, there is nothing that this series can't do that I won't watch over and over again. I think it's so cerebral. I think Vincent D'Onofrio was just amazing. I think the side stories, I think the street level heroes are just amazing. How they brought everything around and turned it without giving you any spoilers, and how they really gave you a great feel for it. How the political aspects of this take place, how the Punisher stuff becomes so in your face. This is like, this is very Frank Miller Daredevil, you guys. That's what I grew up to. And this is something that I will watch over and over again. My kids love it. We talk about this all the time, whether it's the first season or the Born Again, whether it's the Frank Castle stuff, whether it's the Kingpin stuff, whether it's, the Bullseye storylines, who Bullseye is one of my favorite villains. I can't talk about this any more than the fact that I absolutely love this. Drop the mic, watch it as many times as you want. Charlie Cox makes a great Matt Murdock, and he makes a great Daredevil. And I often say when I talk about certain actors, well, he was a great character, this guy, but I didn't like him as this, whether it's, Ben Affleck as Batman or Ben Affleck as Batman. But I think Charlie Cox plays a great Matt Murdock as much as he plays a great Daredevil. And that's only, and I will say though, that comes with a hint of bias because he was so effing cool at Terrificon that even makes it even more. So all in on this, please watch it again, and let's just hope for more Daredevil stuff. So, all right. That's what I have to say about that, you guys.
All right, Cliff, based on what he says, you go next.
Yeah, so this is one of those reversal of fortunes where he's so excited. And first of all, Charlie Cox is everything. Like, I'm a man who makes me fall in love with him so quickly. Charlie Cox, like his presence at Terrificon. Like, I'll watch Daredevil Born Again just because of him. And the acting is great, but the pacing and the story are not great for me. you know?
Really, Cliff?
Yeah. And it was just like, there was too, I get what they were trying to do, but there was too much slowdown. And one of the most criminal things in this series was the underutilization of Muse. That was criminal.
Agree. I will agree with you on that. That was ancillary. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to agree with you on that.
Muse was the thing I came into this show looking forward to, and that I got too little of. And White Tiger, why? Why did you do that to me? Just broke my heart. And of course he died in real life, the actor, but I was like, we got so little White Tiger. Like,
yeah,
I was like, oh my goodness. But so overall, the acting is what carried this movie for me. The particular interactions, this is so funny because I feel like you and I are reverse fears on this and Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the only rewatchability is specific interactions. Fisk and Daredevil, great, and Daredevil and Punisher, great, and my girl Karen is still in it and still showing people this bitch can still act and she can still hang in there. But outside of that, Austin, my love, how are you? I hope you got your boxes today. I've been tracking them. I was tracking them until 5:00. And but yeah, that's it. This one is the 7 for me.
All right. For me, all right. So I as well, I agree. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, they do a great job portraying these characters. There's no deniability about that. I agree with Cliff. I was disappointed. It didn't bother me so much that they killed the White Tiger in the series, but I kept waiting for the niece to step up and become the White Tiger, and I was a little disappointed that never happened. I do not like the guy that plays Bullseye. Passionately. Do not like his version of Bullseye.
Damn, passionately.
Great fighting and everything, but also the story didn't grab me. I mean, the political thing sort of paralleling with real life, I thought that was cool. And that very first episode, losing Foggy, was of course heart-wrenching. But after that episode, they kind of lost me. I often felt myself drifting off, like looking off to the right, not even half paying attention to some of the episodes. I want it to be better. I'm down for season 2, but this season's I don't know. It just didn't grab me. I don't know why it didn't grab me, but it for whatever reason, I didn't connect for me.
Woo!
So, oh boy. I mean,
I love how you've been. Oh no, he went off camera. Oh no.
That's it. I'm not doing with these guys. Fuck them. I don't like their attitude.
Well, it's funny. So Stephen Bethel, I know him from Heart of Dixie, which I used to watch because my friend Scott was on Heart of Dixie.
Who's Stephen Bethel?
That he's Bullseye.
Oh, he's Bullseye. Okay.
Yeah. And so I know him from Heart of Dixie. So watching him go from that type of show, right? Mm-hmm. This small town, everything happens, rom-com arena, right? Dramedy, right? And then he's doing this. I'm like, wow, dude does have range. Yes. The books arrived safely. So I dig his performance.
Maybe I just love Colin Farrell's version so much.
It's possible that Colin Farrell has ruined men and women for other men and women many times.
But you know what though? I'm going to tell you. Can I tell you something? Can I pause real quick and jump in on this?
Yeah,
dude, I'm an unabashed fan of the original Daredevil with Ben Affleck and Colin Farrell. And not I almost said Carmen Electra, no, but Jennifer Gardner. I have watched the extended version. I watched it in the theater. I'm a huge fan of that. So I understand where you're coming from as far as saying that, because that was your first interaction with Bullseye. Like, and if I can just jump in for 30 seconds, Daredevil 181, the death of Elektra, moving up to that was something that I was reading off the rack. And I have ingrained in my memory that battle between Elektra and Daredevil, or Elektra and Bullseye, and Daredevil's on a thing. And excuse me, when Daredevil pulls up the ace of spades and says, "Honey, you're good, but me, I'm magic," and flicks the ace across Elektra's neck and kills her. That those images, those panels, and if you guys have never seen that, please go back and look at that, because it is ingrained in my head. So when I view Bullseye, I'm more of a Colin Farrell Bullseye, and I understand this version of Bullseye. So I wanted to bring into the light the fact that I understand, and I can understand your point about why you didn't think it was a great Bullseye, or why Colin Farrell was such a good depiction of that version that we saw. So
right. And if if you were reading Daredevil at that time, you remember that's when they also, not too long before that, they introduced Stick and the Hand.
Stick!
The white ninjas. The white ninjas.
Yes.
When they put that into the Netflix series, I was like, yes!
Stick. And he was a good stick.
Yeah.
He was a good stick. So,
absolutely. But yeah, so for me, unfortunately, the Daredevil Born Again is going to be more like a 6.8, 6.9 for me, just because that story didn't grab me. But I'm still here for season 2. I still love those actors. I still love their performances, and I look forward to what they have for us next. So
awesome.
All right. So there we go. And now, did anybody see Bat Fam? Because I don't have access to that one, but I did love. This is sort of in the same genre of Merry Little Batman, which came out last year, which I really did enjoy. So
this was out of my wheelhouse, you guys.
No, you're not alone, because I really tried, but I can't. It's too far out of my wheelhouse. It's too far.
Did you guys watch Merry Little Batman last year?
No, I did not.
No,
I did watch it and did not enjoy it.
Oh wow!
I just couldn't. I could not. And listen, in the name of nerddom, I have forced myself to watch things and try to dig. But this is so absolutely not for me.
Okay.
Like I forced myself to watch that one. I didn't enjoy it. I forced myself to watch the first episode of this. I really didn't enjoy it. I was like, oh man. I'm like, I don't know who this is for. It's for somebody, but that somebody is not me.
All right. So, sometimes they swing and they miss.
Yeah. If you want, it's a miss for me, but that doesn't mean anything. If you want the weird humor, then yes, I don't know. I just no. I just can't.
All right. Well, when we want to talk weird humor, and one I do enjoy, how about Harley Quinn season 5?
I wouldn't call that weird humor, as I would just call it, just straight up, adult and over the top.
So did anyone besides me see season 5, which was the Brainiac season?
Yes. As Brainiac is hovering in the background.
And Lena Luthor?
Yes. Who is Lena Lex's daughter, not to be confused with
Lex's sister.
Right. I'm sorry. I just did exactly what I was going to exactly what I was going to talk about. There's Lena Lex's sister and Lena Lex's daughter, but this was focused on Lena Lex's sister.
So that's a nursery rhyme right there. So I haven't watched the new season, you guys, but there's not an episode that I haven't watched of this where I have laughed out loud multiple times and been like, oh my God, I can't believe they've said that. This is I don't want to say counterculture, underground. This is good, deep adult comic book humor that resonates on so many levels. And the one-liners, the you don't get some of the lines after they hit the one-liners. You don't get it until like 2.5 lines later. You're like, oh my God, they just said that from whatever comic book, or oh my God, they just said that from like 2 seasons ago. This, I mean, this is good stuff right here, man. This is good stuff.
Agreed. Yeah, the comic writing is strong. It's dirty. It's definitely adult. It's not for kids.
Never.
But if you want to have fun, I mean, it's not X-rated, but there's some
No.
stuff you might see like an edge of a boob or a butt or something, but that's about as much as it gets. But the comedy is where it's at. Like
the one-liners, the drop deads, the deadpan stuff that takes us as comic book fans a couple, like a regular viewer would be like, all right, I don't know why that's funny, but a comic book fan and somebody who's into the deep dive will be like, oh my God, I can't believe they referenced that. Or, oh my God, like it's over the top. It's great. And I'm going to pause on this. I love the animation. I love the depiction of the characters. And I love the voice overtures, Clayface, Bane, King Shark, Harley, Joker. Like I shouldn't say this. This is good adult comic book humor that will put a smile on any fan's face. I love it.
Absolutely. And I wasn't sure that Kaylee Kuko was going to be a strong Harley Quinn, but she pulls it off well.
She pulls it off.
How about that Sheldon is the freaking executive producer of this show? You know? I forgot his real name right now, but like, I just love that. I love that Big Bang Theory people were like, we could do this.
Yep.
Like, we're going to do it.
So
there's so many episodes I'm running through my head right now and I'm just laughing out loud.
Dude, this season is like no slouch because you're going to love everything Lena and Brainiac, right?
Her and Ivy are great together. The fact that they can bring Calendar Man in, Condiment King, let's bring in Condiment King into a comic book cartoon, and we find that it's funny. Like Condiment King, of all people, who's a relevant character, Kite Man. Oh my God! And
they bring in King Shark's kids. End up coming into this one and just causing so much terror. And I guess Harley and Ivy are sort of their godparents, and it doesn't matter. They just tear through everything.
Can you imagine?
Right, and they're like, "Yay!" the whole time, and they're just like,
those are when your terror niece and like, isn't that so funny, you guys? Like Harley and Ivy are the godparents to King Shark's kids. It's hard enough being godparents to any kid, let alone baby sharks running around.
Right, just gnawing, nibbling, and tearing through everything.
Yes,
yeah.
And I say
Clayface this season. Gotta say that.
What was
great
There
stuff.
was not enough Clayface in this season.
No, there was not. Yeah, he ended up impersonating Perry White as the editor of the Daily Planet.
Yes, which was very enjoyable to watch, but still, like, so great.
That's
absolutely
funny.
But maybe not enough Bane, I don't think, in this season.
There was also not enough Bane. Now I assume that we didn't get much of them because they used them in Kite Man as well. And also, like, these people have other lives, so yeah, maybe they didn't have time.
Guys, please remind me of Ivy's plant that always follows her. What's his name?
Oh my God, what is his name?
He's right next to right below Bane, next to that's a great character. Like,
yeah, that actor is hilarious.
The voice, the stuff that comes out of his mouth, you're like, oh my God, this is great. That's great ancillary comedy.
I'm looking at it right
now. All right, regardless, I just think that's a fun character.
Yeah,
he is a fun character, and I can't remember his damn name.
His name's Frank. Frank.
Frank.
Couldn't be any more bland.
Yeah. He's
God, that's funny.
Who voices Frank?
And I like that. I love that Frank is a mirror to Brainiac.
But yeah, so that was great. But talking about nibbling on people, how about we go into Marvel Zombies?
Oh,
okay. We could. I'm just saying, y'all need to watch this season, okay? Because Lena is all about like softcore, like monitoring your life under like optimization. Gee, does that sound like something we know about? And then Brainiac is like, oh, you don't need to make decisions because I'm going to give you the best outcome. Sound like every algorithm trying to run our life? I'm just saying this season was brilliant, and we didn't say anything about that. Okay, moving on to the Marvel Zombies, which I've known many in real life. Here we are, Marvel Zombies, which premiered in September. You know, hey, it actually introduced us to Blade. How fun!
Well, it was a nice version of Blade too.
It was
a Moon Knight version of Blade, and he was pretty badass. But I enjoyed this series. I thought it was fun. I know I saw a lot of negative voices when this came out, but I liked it. I like the young characters that they bring in the beginning. I like the storyline. I like that the characters, I like that everyone's disposable in this series. And I like the cliffhanger at the end. I only hope that they do a season 2 because I want to know what the hell happens. I mean, I didn't read this comic. I never read Marvel Zombies as a comic. I thought it was interesting. I liked the little snippets they gave us in the What If animated series of the Marvel Zombies. So I was looking forward to this, and I thought they did a cohesive storyline, and I dug it. And I've never seen the Hulk in that manner before. I've been reading the Hulk since like Hulk #1, and I've never seen the Hulk portrayed in this way before. So I really dug that too.
Yeah,
that's my spiel.
Well, this was definitely a darker series, period. And they did really they did a great job. You know, we got our corrupted, zombified Avengers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we got you know, younger, more emotionally grounded heroes to tell this tale. And then a massive cliffhanger being like, don't you want a season 2?
Yeah. Was it a doomed tale all along?
Yeah. Well, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
That's certainly the cliffhanger you left us on.
Anywhere in the multiverse, there's a zombie Scarlet Witch, I feel like you're probably doomed. You know? But of course, like, in the comics, we saw zombified Galactus, and that was absolutely terrifying too.
So where are you on this one, Otto?
You know, excuse me. For some reason, I'm not a zombie guy. Like, I'm not I would say horror. It's not one of these things, but for some reason, when Marvel Zombies came out as a comic book, I gravitated towards it because I'm to the point where I want a new, fresh look at certain things. So I was buying these comic books weekly, but that was on my pull list, and I was buying for a long time, and I was reading them, and I was like, this stuff is really good. It's creative. It's a different twist. It's dark. I like the animation. You know, I also like the whole, I grew up on What If. So, you know, this adds to that. So again, you know, if the 1983 version of me that was buying What If said, would I ever want to watch Marvel Zombies on a cartoon? And I would probably say, sure, let me see it. And being able to watch it with the vim and the vigor that it was, and that it was thought out, I enjoyed it. And that's coming from a guy who, like, I couldn't tell you the last horror movie I watched, but and I'm not a zombie guy by any means, but this was fun to watch, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to keep going on this because I like it. It's different twists on characters that I've been watching for 40 years. You know, it's like the different universes. It's the what ifs. It's the this. It's the that. If it's the same characters and you can tell me a poignant story that's rich and colorful and I can enjoy it, and boy, you're like, whoa, or that's awesome, I'll take it. So, you know, let's go. Give me more zombies.
All right. So zombies across the board.
Yeah, I feel like we all enjoyed this. All right, who's our next victim?
All right, well, let's get this one out of the way. Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh,
Oh, did I pull the? Oh, yeah, I did. There it is. Let's zoom in on this unlackluster film. So I didn't. It's not like I hated the movie. I just didn't enjoy it anywhere near as much as I wish I could have.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for Anthony Mackie because I thought Anthony Mackie did a good job. I think he portrays the ideals of Captain America well. I think he puts his own spin on it. I think the story was just kind of mid. And and I think that as many people have said, they shouldn't have let us know the Red Hulk reveal. They should have kept it quiet. It shouldn't have been in any of the trailers. We even if we knew that it was happening, if we didn't see it, I think it would have been a lot better. Like I just actually rewatched it tonight, and again, I still felt it was mid.
I got such a list of strikes on this movie.
All right, so that's all I could. I mean, if I'm just going to leave it short and saying, I don't know why they put Giancarlo in there. That felt unnecessary.
Exactly. You got my precious Giancarlo Esposito up in there, the man who I want to be my stepdaddy because he keeps making eyes at my mom. And here we are. And for what? Look, sidewalk. You ain't no. He's not even Atlantean. Like no to all of it.
And not enough of the leader. Like
not enough of
he was the bad guy, but we didn't see him enough.
Wait a second. Also, can we talk about the disrespect to the Incredible Hulk? This is a Hulk sequel with no Hulk in it. Make that make sense. Make that make sense, right? This is a sequel to the 2008 Hulk movie with no Hulk in it at all. But yet almost everyone else, there were moments where I was waiting for Edward Norton to have a cameo. Like I was like, what is happening here? So also I feel bad for Anthony Mackie, and he was rude to my friend at NYU. And and I've always held it against him. But I felt bad for him because it's like the studio did not believe in him to carry this film. Of all the Marvel films, this is one of the few Marvel films where we spend 50, maybe 52% of the movie with the villain. There's a lot of Harrison Ford, way more Harrison Ford than I was expecting when I watched this movie. It was an excessive amount of Harrison Ford. Also, you want to talk about wasted characters? What was Sabra doing in there? Why? Who even cared? Like it was like, oh, look, it's the first appearance of Sabra. I was like, yeah, this Israeli badass bitch with superpowers who's a mutant. What do we get in the film? This ex-Black Widow chick who and they found the tiniest bitch, tiniest. Where did they find her? They found this 4-foot woman so that they could do the hallway battle with her. Why do you find who?
All right, Cliffy, Uncle, Uncle, I'm calling Uncle on this. I can't even. Oh my God!
But tell me I'm wrong. Where'd they find this 4-foot bitch at? To be like, like what was this? Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Where is the Hulk? Where is it?
Cliffy, I don't want to stop you. Are you still going?
No, I feel like I've done enough.
I was gonna say what I liked about this movie, but I'm just gonna leave it as I have no comment on this because anything I just would have said, Cliff just fucking buried me. So I will say one thing though, in respect to my father, God rest his soul, he's been gone almost 12 years now. If there's anything I can say that Cliff just didn't hammer, it's the fact that I thought it was I don't know how to say this. To me, it was a very James Bond-ish kind of movie as far as the espionage story. And if that's all I can say about this after Cliff just buried it, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. So I yield. Okay.
And by the way, I feel terrible saying all this, but the movie's so under-delivered, it's upsetting. You know, but if you want to see a great film this year that's not on our list because it's not based on a comic book, you need to go see Sinners. Sinners is my #1 film of 2025.
All right.
All right, who's next?
All right. How about Eyes of Wakanda?
Eyes of Wakanda. All right. Here we are. Again, you know what? Like, how dare they? Like, it's like executive producer Ryan Coogler. No, I need Ryan Coogler to be writer, director Ryan Coogler. Y'all keep fish hooking me with executive producer Ryan Coogler, and that's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
So that's mean that you didn't like the writing?
No, actually, I enjoyed this quite a bit. But I'm going to be more upset about it on another project we're going to look at.
Well, tell me about it.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that we got we got some Iron Fist mythology built into this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got some more Black Panther lore. You know, we got some Wakanda mysticism in this story. I mean, like, they absolutely were focused on delivering, expanding the mythos of the Black Panther.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And the
Yes.
Wakandan universe for sure. Yeah. They even had what
Yeah.
was it? Achilles and the Trojan horse.
Yes. Like brilliantly done.
I love a good cultural development or world building story. And if you want to start building Wakanda lore and civilization and history, let's go. Bring it on. You know, whether it's you're focusing on the women, you know, Okoye, Nakia, whether you're talking about when the Vibranium first landed, the years of the Black Panther, like, this is really, really cool. And I like this because I was a huge fan of the show Lost. And to me, the island of the area that Lost was in could have been Wakanda. It could have been Atlantis to me. You know, growing up, I loved all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, the Bermuda Triangle, all these things. And the bringing this to the light and showing everything and bringing the traditions and keeping it linear, or I should say like canon, I think is important, because now you've got 3 or 4 stories, if not 5 stories, that has deep rooted Wakanda history, and which is something that I grew up to. And as far as a comic book fan or sci-fi fan or just fan of imagining, god damn, let's go to Wakanda and hang out. You know, get me on that trip. I'll take that boat ride and hang out there all day and see what they got going on. Great world building, great characterization, multi-characters at multi-levels. So great run right here, and keep it going.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you guys. The world building aspect is great, and in total parallel to what we were saying in the opposite movie, we didn't need the Black Panther in this.
Good point.
The world building and the writing of this was enough.
Yep.
So yeah, give me more. I'm ready for season 2. Let's do it.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like this is what the TV streaming projects for MCU, it should just be more like this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some Daredevil Born Again action. But like, it should be like this. It should be filling in all these interesting gaps in the greater worldview.
Right. And keep it canon, and keep it like, okay, just because this happened in this time period, you can bridge it. Just make sure that it connects to the beginning and it connects to the end and it wraps up well. All the stuff in between, throw it in there. Give me a new villain. Give me a backstory about this guy. Give me a story about this character. Enlighten me about this, you know, but just keep it true to what, you know, Kirby and Stan and everybody else and in between wanted to do it. You know, just don't produce something. And you're like, oh, what the fuck was that?
Well, I will say this, when it comes to all things Black Panther, I feel like everyone on board has tried to make stuff not for the sake of producing something to produce something. It's thoughtful. Can it be a miss?
I'm going to agree with you on that, Cliff. Thank you for that. I'm going to agree with you on that.
You know, but I gotta say, oh my God, look at Boston Chris. I don't live on the same street. Who decides to break the internet? This man
hasn't broke yet.
But because I've had people complain to me plenty of times about Wakanda Forever, but I'm like, but it's such a thoughtful project. And there's a lot of stuff I still personally love about that movie. But I totally hear the people who were screaming, we still need a Black Panther. Why didn't they just recast him? And I'm like, I feel your pain. I hear you, you know. All right, who's our next target?
All right, let's go with The Sandman, the last season of The Sandman.
Oh, hell yes. Yes. Oh my God.
You love those cheekbones, right, Cliff?
I love everything. I cannot tell you the last time I loved television the way I love this show. I love season 1. I love season 2. I love how dedicated they were to the comic. I really loved it. I was genuinely upset when I saw the final episode. I was like, so this is just it. So this is it, right? I was like, so that just no more. Okay, fine.
You gave us a bonus episode. You got a bonus episode.
I know, but the bonus episode left me wanting more. You know? If only this man who I've admired for most of my life could control his goddamn boner more. I mean, like, you know.
It's not a lie.
It's not a lie. I'll get around and say, it's not. No, not at some point, Chris. It is absolutely worth the watch. It is beautiful. It's poignant. It is all the things. Hey, Garfwan, welcome.
I love being introduced or exploring more this season of his siblings. That was great.
Right. Right. They were fleshed out, but they were still fleshed out in the same way they were fleshed out in the comic. I mean, differently, but like the same, you know? And
I cannot say enough about that actress that plays Death in this.
Oh, she's amazing. She's amazing.
Brilliant in this. She brings a spirit to that character that feels not only out of the comics, but I mean, I don't know. She speaks to me the way she puts that on. And I look forward to what her future is in the acting world.
Yo, her Death Takes a Holiday episode, so good. So good. Brilliant.
Absolutely. And I got to give it to them because I know that they shortened this last season because of all the drama behind Neil Gaiman's shenanigans.
Well, they didn't. This season was what it was supposed to be. But that was it. There was no additional fanfare. What got severely shortened because of the controversy was Good Omens. That's the one that took a beating.
Okay.
Good Omens took a beating. This actually was mostly complete and made it to completion.
Okay.
But again, I love everything. His immortal friend, you know, the fairies, everything. Everything was great.
I agree. And I wanted more too. And it's sad that we're not going to get it.
I don't know. I hope he does a big apology tour. A very big apology tour.
I think he's got a few more years where he's going to stay out of the spotlight before he starts dipping back in.
Oh, I know, but the apology tour has to happen. But I want him to of course, I want him to be a better person. So, like, I want the apology tour to be sincere, you know. Mm-hmm. But
well, listen, it's not like I've thrown out my collection of gaming books. They're just kind of in the.
No, but
I'm not looking at you right now.
If you've ever wanted
to talk to you.
If you've ever wanted to collect the Sandman, now is the time because they've altered. These were expensive books that have suddenly turned to dollar bin foliage. So like
fodder.
Buy it up, baby. Buy up every issue you can because this is it. And then one day there'll be a reawakening and you'll be ready.
Right.
Guys, I don't have much to add. Cliff might kick me off the stream right now, but I've never watched this. Neil Gaiman, the Sandman story arc was so out of my realm of understanding. Like, I'm a very concrete person. And so, like, when the comic book came out, it was too abstract for me. And this isn't something I've watched. So, Cliff, don't kick me off. I want to stay on the show tonight.
Otto, let me tell you, this show is the perfect adaptation.
Okay. Right. I agree. You know what? And I'm going to tell you, you are a multiple of persons who have said this to me. Like, it is comic book to film perfection. Perfection. And that's what I understand. And that's why I'm going to give it a shot. But
you got to give it a shot. And Otto, I will warn you, it is slow paced.
okay. Okay. I'll take a slow burn though. If I know it's a slow burn, I get it.
Yeah, it is a slow burn, but it's a good ride.
Yeah, if you can
I'll take it. I'll take
you
it.
can get to the episode where Sandman challenges Hades.
Okay.
You're
okay.
in.
No, that's important to me. Like people will say it's a slow burn, but once you get going, it was like, the new Transformers cartoon that everybody was like, oh, it's very childish. But you know what? It starts off that way, but then 25 minutes into it, you're like, oh my God, this is really good. I understand it. And hey guys, I appreciate you guys telling me it's a slow burn, because people that have the attention span that I have, after 20 minutes, be like, I'm done, good, see you later. And they're like, well, wait a minute, you didn't get to this. And I get that. So I will definitely 100% take that under advisement from you guys. Just that's what I needed to hear to get dug into my brain.
No, you dude, like it's worth, like obviously what happens in episode 1 doesn't feel worth it, but when shit goes down in episode 4, you're like, oh my God, this is what we were coming to. And then
that's what I need to hear.
And then episode 8, you're like, oh my God, it's all coming together.
Listen to that passion.
I did.
Kevin Eastman.
I did.
Did you put the lens to Kevin Eastman?
I saw that story.
Yeah.
I need to know.
Oh, Clippy, it's a long dated story from. Oh, gee. You're really gonna do that to me? You're gonna put me
here. It's the Friday after Christmas. You're looking good.
All right. I'll come on and sandbag. All right. I'll come clean with these, you guys. So, I am a product of the 80s. I'm probably the oldest person in this group right here, and I was born in 1971. So I would go to a local comic shop.
What month?
What's that?
What month of 71?
All right, six.
You're a month older than me.
Okay, see, so I'll take that. So going to the local comic shop back in the day that I used to go to, it was called The Bookie. That's right, The Bookie. It was great. Little Everett Otto would have $20, maybe $15 at best, and he was buying titles like X-Men, Avengers, anything that was colorful, anything that I thought would be great. And there at my LCS, which was in East Hartford, Connecticut, which was up and down Kevin Eastman's route because he was from the Northeast, were these copies of this, and I say this with grace, ridiculous, oversized comic books that were black and white, that were turtles, and they were ninjas, and they were mutants. And how dare they? This stack of comics is the stupidest thing ever, I said to my brother. And I left them there. And I left multiple first prints of TMNTs at my comic shop. And they were there for weeks after. And I would say, look, these things are so stupid. Nobody wants it. 13-year-old Otto lived with that for the rest of his life. And as I started growing up and going through comics, I would see how, people, generations younger than me grew up to the Turtles, and how these books would become so popular, and how I would say, God damn it, if I only would have bought that stack, I could have paid for my kids' college, right? And so I joked about that throughout the years, and, having guys like Chinmo and people who love the Turtles and who was such iconic to them, I just didn't understand. And it was so like one of these things where I never read a Turtles book until this year, until Jason Aaron. I didn't want to own it. I was so burned and scorned. Now you guys got me going off on a tangent right now, though. This is like I'm going off to the left.
Listen,
all right.
Listen.
So
I embarrass myself in front of Paul Rudd. I win, no matter what. Keep going.
Okay. So then, as you guys know, Kevin Eastman was at Terrificon, and Chin was running a panel. Chinmo was running the Kevin Eastman panel, and we went there to support him. And when I heard Kevin Eastman, well, first and foremost, I'm in a restaurant business part-time. It's my part-time hobby. I've been doing it part-time my whole life. When Kevin Eastman would talk about how he was a cook at, a restaurant in Maine in the summer times, and how he borrowed, $500, maybe $5,000 from his cousin to his uncle to print these comic books, and how they traveled up and down the East Coast trying to sell the Turtles books. and listening to him talk. And I'm telling you, when I'm talking about like feeling his vibe, like being like, this guy is such a blue collar guy. This guy is so down to earth. He wasn't arrogant. He wasn't cocky. He wasn't, my shit don't stink. I created this. And when you meet a lot of creators, these stars, sometimes, unfortunately, it's not great to meet your heroes because you realize that they're just not nice people, Lou Ferrigno, or one or two other people.
You have one of those too? I have one of those too, but I blame his hearing loss. Go ahead.
Okay. But then, so when I heard how cool Kevin Eastman was, I said to myself, that's it. I got to come clear my soul. I got to go. I got to have a come to Jesus moment. So I was like the third person in line. I got up. Chinmo's on stage with Kevin Eastman. He sees me get in line, and I see Chinmo go like this. What the fuck is Otto going to say? Like, what is going to come out of his mouth? My boys were behind me, and hand to Jesus. I can talk to anybody. I talk for a living. The first thing out of my mouth was, Mr. Eastman, I'm sorry. The guy looked at me like, what? What are you sorry for? I go, I am so sorry for not believing in your vision about these turtles. And, more importantly, you are such a great, respectable human that I want to say I'm sorry for not believing in your vision. And he pretty much was like, it's okay, man. It's okay. It really is okay. So I stumbled over my words. You could hear my voice cracking. I remember leaving, going off to the side and seeing Justin, No Good Comics, who was recording it. And I said to him, and I go, could you hear my voice cracking? And he goes, oh yeah, dude, you were nervous. And I looked at him and I said, dude, I'm going to the bar. I'm going to have a drink. I felt like I just lifted 40 years of guilt off my chest. And I went downstairs, and later on that night at Terrificon, because it's so amazing, I did see Kevin Eastman again. So I came clean. I felt like I had my come to Jesus moment. I told him what I had to say to him, and that I love the Jason Aaron run now. And I've lifted that off my chest. So if you're watching this on a rewind, thank you very much for listening to my 7-minute Turtles confession. And that was very important to me. So that's it. That's what I got to say about that.
It was important to me.
Oh, thank you, Cliffy. Thank you for listening.
I loved it and listen, we've all been there. And listen, my bad Lou Ferrigno moment was telling him how much I enjoyed watching his episodes on King of Queens with my mother. And and for some reason he took it as an insult. And also because it was right after I said, I loved growing up watching you as the Incredible Hulk. Things that I thought were normal things to say.
Yes.
Everything that came out of my mouth just to him sounded like I was calling him old.
Yeah, I get it. It was terrible when I met him.
And I never even got to tell him how hot I think his son is. So it was just all downhill. It was all
it was not a good experience for me. I'm glad I got to meet him. I said some things I wanted to say to him. And as I was talking to him, I realized everything I was asking for, he was charging me more money for. So I was like, all right, can I get a picture? He's like, okay, 50. Can you sign this? 25. And then to the fact that Dave, the brother, when he met him, he had paid all these things for the signature, for the photo. And he said, can you put me in a headlock? And Lou goes, yes, for $25 more. I mean,
he's got bills to pay like everybody else.
Agreed. And he's not there. And I get it. But, dude, we've just given you a lot of money, at least from this individual. So anyway, Kevin Eastman, amazing person. His 5 minutes of listening to how humble he was and how much of a fan he was. And I'm going to tell you something. I was that year old at that Terrificon when I realized that this all stems from Daredevil and his writing. I never, ever, you guys, ever as a comic book fan realized that the green ooze that Matt Murdock went blind from is what caused the Turtles to become Turtles. I never saw that connection. I never saw the connection between, the Hand and the Foot Clan, Splinter and Stick, because I wasn't part of that universe, you guys. I wasn't. And then it was so enlightening as a 54-year-old comic book fan. I'm sorry, I've completely taken you guys off the rails on this.
That's all
But
right.
that's how
okay.
important. And I'll tell you, that's why Terrificon and these shows are so important, because these are the magic moments as comic book fans, as comic book fiends, as friends and people that live in this culture, to have the, oh my God, you're kidding me moment is just amazing, because we pull the curtain back all the time, you guys, right? We want to know how you make the meatballs, how you make the sauce. But for Kevin Eastman to say that, the Dark Knight and everything like that was there, it was just, woo, wow. Wow, Cliffy, you read that Joker. You got a lot out of me right now, man.
Listen, and I love it. Also, look at Black Spiders. I've met Lou Ferrigno once or twice. He didn't take a picture of me with him, but he did take a picture of him with my girlfriend.
Yep.
All right, there you go. There you go. You heard it here, folks. We brought you the full tea. The full tea.
Right. And he yelled at me at New York Comic Con because I tried to take a picture of him from kind of far away. And he was like, "No, cut it out."
Yeah, and he saw you from that. Come on, dude. Come on, you're in the public. Yeah. Oh God.
It is what it is. Some people,
gentlemen, I'm going to take I'm going to let you keep going. I'm going to take a 30-second break. I got to get something. I got to heat up my tea real quick. I'll be right back. All right, but you can keep going. I'll be right back.
Go
I believe in you. I believe you. All right, we got very few left on our caseload here. Who's next?
Yes. So let's see. So we basically have left 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess the next one is probably gonna be Ironheart.
All right. Ironheart. Now this is the one. This is the one to piss me off, from executive producer Ryan Coogler, who then clearly jumped off the rails on this show.
Jumped off the rails?
Listen. In my mind, I picture what I think they were doing, but I've heard the writers talk about what they were doing, and I don't think we're all on the same page with what they're doing.
Okay.
Like, they think they're creating a hero, and I think they're creating a villain, but I felt like I thought they were just doing the whole hubris thing where she constantly thinks she's going to come out ahead at the end and keeps making these high risk, ridiculous jumps, right? Leaps of faith, thinking I'm smarter than everybody, right? And it just keeps getting worse and worse. So that's my view. These people thought they were writing a hero. I'm like, I don't know. What heroic things was she actually doing the entire time?
Well, in contrast to you, I love this series. I thought it was brilliant. I know that she was a more dark character, that she wasn't your typical hero.
But but where was she heroic? That's my problem. Like, there's not.
Well, I don't think she was looking at being a superhero. I think her objective was just to, she was a kid, like in the beginning. Hey, I'm trying to build this armor in lieu of, let me finish, Cliff, in lieu of like Tony Stark, and I want to get to this level where I can do that. But in order to do that, since I'm not a billionaire, I'm going to take these shortcuts. And I'm not telling you those are good decisions or that made her a good or moral person in any way. But I just thought that the storyline, the intermixing of the tech and the magic, I don't know, it spoke to me. I loved it.
I thought the tech magic intermixing was a bright idea. I think, again, this was so uneven. We had big jumps between personal drama and like larger conflicts, right? And we had big emotional beats without much buildup. It was just bam, it's here. They wanted to do too much, like they just compressed too much into here. I felt like it was leaning very heavily on comparisons, but it was undercutting Riri's independence, right? Like, the intent was there, but the execution was not, right? And then like the Hood, the Hood is nowhere near what he should have been. Like that's one character that you should knock it out of the park. Comic to television transition, you know? And like there was not enough of that here. You know, there was not enough expression about the consequences of magic, right? They didn't explore the full mythology of that character, which they could have. They just spent time on other things. You know, the tone was unsteady. We had 1 minute it's youthful energy, the next minute it's criminal threat, the next minute it's trauma, the next minute it's MCU humor.
Right. Well,
I needed this to like land stronger for me. I'm sorry.
okay.
It didn't stick the landing for you, did it, Cliffy?
No, I like the heist crew.
I do too.
I like the girl. I can't think of what her name is. The girl with the glasses that was the magic girl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I actually ended up looking her up, and she in the comics was actually Doctor Strange's assistant for a while.
Yeah,
And-
she's part of the Strange Academy.
Yeah, and I didn't read those comics. So I'm not reading what the current stuff out right now. So I thought that all tied in, and her character and the stuff that she talked about and it was in the comics was very fluid. And I love Mephisto. I love my man Mephisto.
I love Mephisto, and then that I heard,
and maybe I'm not as familiar with the Hood in the comics, but I thought that the character of Parker that they portrayed was an interesting, flawed character, and you know, he basically came to what he wanted. Only he found that it was empty at the end, and he drove all his friends away. So,
well, and even then, it doesn't stop him from wanting power because he still goes to the magic shop, you know.
And the dead girl that becomes the AI, and then because
that becomes human.
Yeah, because she makes the deal with the devil at the end. So
right, which again does not align with
Riri in the comics
at all. Like Riri in the comics has a better arc of being overly ambitious, and like here, I felt like they were doing some of that, but like not doing it well. You know, and again, this is not like, oh, it's so bad, right? But it's not. It's none of the things I was looking for, and the inconsistency did not help. You know, but hey, Heist Crew, they were super cool. The interactions, interesting. But like, for instance, like at one point when Riri like gets away and Magic Girl's like, oh, maybe Riri's cool. And I'm like, why did we come to this conclusion all of a sudden? Like, just suddenly, you know, I was like, I don't feel like Riri did anything that was like, oh, maybe she's cool. Like, I'm like, okay, y'all are just going to be cool for a minute. All right, let's see where this goes. It just could have been better. But again, the actors did a lot of heavy lifting. The Hood definitely could have been better. I think the Hood is much more interesting in the comic. But here we are. This one again is just falls into the realm of a 6 for me.
Okay. What about you, Otto?
Yeah, you know what I think really bothered the timing on this. You know, the whole Riri thing, the whole Ironheart, at least from a comic book standpoint, that book got so hype 2 or 3 years ago. Like, you know, on the underground level, whether it was a woman in power, whether it was her as a lawyer, whether it was a character, the comic book hype started like really, really early in the infancy. And then it started to gain steam. And then I think they put this out for the masses and not the comic book fan. And, you know, bringing in Mephisto is great. The Hood, you're trying to get too many things going on at a time where I don't really think anybody really wanted this, you know, or they didn't time it properly. It should have been 2 years ago, or they should have just shelved it and waited for a time when it was necessary. And I think that's kind of what killed it. Did I watch it? Yes. Did I watch it twice? Yes. And every time I'm like, okay, that's cool. But again, I liked the street element of it. I liked the how you know, it's a struggle. It's not your billionaire. It's, You know, she's a girl living with her mom in a city in an apartment complex, and she's trying to build this. How is she building it? You know, the other kids, they're all grounded. You know what I mean? They're not, I don't want to say millionaire playboys, but they don't have silver spoons or anything like that. So I really think that the timing and the delivery of this kind of hit flat. And when that hits flat, you go into it thinking, all right, well, but no. Again, in the Marvel MCU, where does it go? I don't know. Will I watch it again? Maybe once or twice. Will I reference it? I will. Am I happy Mephisto was in there? Yes. And do I like the AI part of it? Yes. Do I like the fact that now everybody can build an Iron Man suit? Not necessarily. So again, 6'7" when it comes to that. So
Otto, I want to follow up. Where does it fit? I felt this would have fit perfectly leading into Armor Wars.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like in there.
And instead,
they should have shelved it.
Yeah. At least temporarily.
Didn't they shelf this for a while? Weren't they holding back?
They shelved it for a while until they just couldn't shelve it anymore.
They had to just put it out there.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're getting down to the last three big ones, so let's hit it up with Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
John Cena. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is, I got to say, John Cena as an actor, I don't know if you guys saw his first movie, The Marine. It was bad.
It was bad. It was a WWE production or something or whatever.
He was a bad actor then. I got to say, his acting chops have really, really stepped up in the last few years.
Yeah. Well, he's put the work in, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he's getting the roles. So I love this. I love season 1. I love season 2. I know a lot of people dislike the finale. For me, the episode before the finale was the finale, and what they consider the finale, I consider the epilogue.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good assessment.
Funny, great interpersonal character development, interactions with each other, the Nazi thing, crazy.
Great.
Never thought I'd see that.
Didn't see it coming.
No, I did not
see it coming.
I didn't see it coming. Danielle Brooks, brilliant. I love her. What's his name? The English guy. What's his sidekick's name? I'm blanking out, guys.
Oh, I love him. Freaking Vigilante?
Yeah, Vigilante. And then he's got his doppelganger that's just like him.
It's got billions of dollars in his basement.
Yeah.
That he's taking from drug lords, and he's not using it for anything. And he's just such a man. He's like, whatever, who cares? It's billions and trillions of dollars I've taken because I've killed people.
Yeah. And my personal friend Paul Kupperberg getting at least one mention, and I think there was two things that involved him. At the end, the group that they turn into, Checkmate, because that was one of his series too.
Yeah.
And Kupperberg Park they mentioned, so thrilled for him for those. So yeah, if you can separate yourself from the finale being the episode before and the last one being the epilogue, I think it's a near perfect series. And I can't wait to see what they do with, the last scene. We see Peacemaker, and he's just kind of in this place, and you hear roars or screams or possibly parademons. And I want to see where that goes.
Well, this is Salvation Run, so I expect dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought everything was great. I hope when we see this again, the show is Checkmate. I think that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think it's the best streaming thing I saw outside of Sandman. I probably hold Sandman a little higher, but I ranked this very high. I've had very strong feelings. I don't know, it was good. And by the way, how could y'all not have seen it? The episode where he goes out in public in Earth X, right? First, his brother doesn't know what a Kardashian is, which you would think is like, wow, this planet is cool. But when he's in public, it is so clear that there are only white people around, especially when that little boy is like, I love you so much, Peacemaker. I was like, wait a second, there's like an unhealthy balance happening here. Also, when he took down the terrorist, like the terrorists didn't seem like awful people. And that also was like a little bit of a giveaway for me. I was like, oh, wait, they actually care about what's going on. He's just murdering them.
No.
What about you, Otto? Where are you on Peacemaker?
I loved it. I'm actually considering watching season 2 over again.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this. I've said this before. My music library, because of James Gunn, has changed so much. Like, I had such a hard time with the new song, the new intro song, because I loved everything it stood for, and I just loved how they choreographed it. But then I started listening to it over and over again, and I'm going to tell you, when I tell you Foxy Shazam is on my playlist, it really is, because the song is so epic and so, like, I don't know where I am in my life right now. I can just relate to it. And as I went through this, I was like, okay, all right. Oh, that's great. And let me tell you, Eagly and his relationship with Michael Rooker and how they go through the story is just phenomenal. And I don't really want to spoil it for you about how Eagly gets his revenge. And I didn't see the whole, is it Earth X, could we say, or the whole Nazi Earth? Though I didn't see that coming at all. I love the acting between Hardcore, both versions of her. I loved all the nuances that James Gunn threw in there, whether it was the posters of like the Scorpions, which really wasn't the Scorpions, or all the all the level of detail. And I will tell you though, I watched every Peacemaker After episode there was that James Gunn did. So for you guys who don't know, James Gunn does a YouTube show where after every episode, they talk about it. They do a deep dive into it. And I watched all of them. And every time there was something unique, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Oh my God, that's fantastic. Or, oh my God, I get it. And I just thought that it was so well done. Again, John Cena, you're right. His acting chops have, become a lot more. He was great in his character. I love the fact that they rehashed the whole Justice League thing. I love the fact that they have him trying to get into, the group. I can't think of the group. I thought that was amazing. Him on the motorcycle was fantastic. The clothing that he wore on the other planet, that stupid alien that they would go through
and just run into.
That's just run into. I mean, there wasn't, like, as a true comic book fan, you have to love this for all these things that were happening, and the ending and the way is it the 7th Street Gang? Is that what they call themselves at the end? Yeah, the 7th Street Kids came together. I don't know. I'm considering binging this whole thing again because I've already done it twice, but my highlights of this, and I don't think I said this on 3 Men in the Basement because Chin doesn't want to give me any spoils, but I'm going to do it here. The relationship between Michael Rooker and Eagly and the war that they had between them was just iconic. And I don't know, just really, really well done. And just a surprise hit of the year for me as far as comic book shows. So I loved it. If you can't tell.
And I'm just going to add in there, Tim Meadows and Bird Blindness was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
But see, and Tim Meadows is the person who can deliver that. Also, my love of Tim Meadows can deliver on Bird Blindness, but then can also deliver on serious tones where it was like, where he's like walking through the room, looks at what's his name. He goes, did you book him? Did you book Peacemaker? He goes, I did. He goes, you did the right thing. Like, yes. I love that. I love
the Rick Flag stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't even bring in the Rick Flag stuff.
Yeah.
With what's his name? How pissed off he was. It was.
He is Rick Flag Sr. is such a douchebag in the DCU.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And like Rick Flag Jr. is clearly the better human.
Yeah,
Clearly.
no, that I forgot even all that, you know, and then, you know, Tim Meadows, who I love from SNL, the ladies man, he just can't get enough of it. You know what I mean? But it was good stuff. I mean, James Gunn knew what he was doing on this, and again, if you guys have watched this and you're a fan of it, please go back. I'm sure you can YouTube it. It's the after hours for every episode, and it gives great deep dives into it. Whereas comic book fans, you really understand how legitimate James Gunn is as far as trying to keeping it to a cohesive story arc, and that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody loves Peacemaker. Nice.
That's right.
All right, so we got the last two. Let's start off with the Fantastic Four. Got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby. I forget what Johnny Storm's name is. Or Ben Grimm.
Well, Ben Grimm is the gentleman from The Bear, and Johnny Storm is played by Hawkeye from Stranger Things season 5. But right, because I remember names. That's terrible. But anyhow, it doesn't matter. It's the majority of the movie is about Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, and Galactus.
Oh, Galactus.
And the Silver Surfer.
Okay, so I want to hear Otto's thoughts first.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I loved it. I've watched it many times. I will tell you my attraction to it is the family aspect of it. I will tell you that I love the fact that they didn't waste time giving you the back history. We knew Batman's parents got shot. We knew Superman came from another planet. We knew they went up into space and got hit with gamma radiation. I love when you see them, they already know how to work as a team. I thank you very much. I loved the lead-ins of it where they had, the Red Ghost. Yes. They brought that into play. They brought in Mole Man. They brought that in. So thank you very much for giving us that comic book accuracy storyline. Okay. I loved it. And I'm going to tell you, growing up as a kid, I hated Herbie because that's what I got to see when I was a kid. But let me tell you, I thought Herbie was great in this. Thank you very much for adding a droid to it.
That worked.
That worked. Right. That was interactive to it. Thank you very much for naming the ship the Excelsior. Thank you for giving us a live action Galactus. Let me tell you, and when what's her name comes down, I herald your beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus. I get chills to it this day. So, I was going to say this, I'll watch this movie over and over again, and I have. I like the version of The Thing. I liked him on Yancey Street. I loved it when he picked, the kids are like, pick up the car, and he does, because that's who Ben Grimm is. I loved, the Franklin Richards thing. I just absolutely love this. And from a father standpoint, from a family standpoint, Mama Bear, mess with Mama Bear, Dad will stand up to you. But when it comes to messing with kids, mess with Mama Bear. And, Sue Storm did a great job. All my life, I've been waiting to see what they could do to Galactus and how they could make Galactus a true character. I think that was amazing. And I don't mind that they swapped the genders of the Silver Surfer, because that's fine with it. So all in all, you guys, I loved it. I would watch it over and over again. I have no problem with it. If you want to nip and tuck it and say this, that, and the third, go ahead. But from a kid who would watch the Fantastic Four in the 70s and the 80s with Herbie and all the other things, growing up to the John Byrne FF and going through that whole arc and reading everything, there was nothing. I will not say anything bad about this movie at all. And there are some things that I didn't like, but that is my own. That's on my own. I think they gave a great rendition. They gave a great homage to an important storyline, and bring it on. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep it going. So I'm pretty opinionated on that, you guys. Thanks for listening.
David.
I had a feeling. That's why I wanted you to go first.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
I dug it too. I don't think I dug it quite as much as you did. But like I thought all the actors did a great job. I remember I saw it actually the day before Terrificon. I went down to Connecticut to go hang out with my son for 24 hours. We went to go see Fantastic Four. And I remember going back to Terrificon and I caught Walt Simonson walking around. And I remember asking Walt, I was like, all right, Walt. And he was wearing a Fantastic Four shirt that day. I was like, you're
Was
wearing
he
your
really?
Fantastic. Yeah, he was. I'm like, you're wearing your Fantastic Four shirt. I was like, I just saw it. I was like, what'd you think? And of Ebon Moss-Bacharach's version of the thing. 'Cause I know you love Ben Grimm and Yancey Street. And he gave it 2 thumbs up, and he said he thought he did a great job, and he's looking forward to more stuff in the future. So if you can't get if you get a signature or sign off from Walt Simonson, you're in there. So
Yeah, awesome.
but yeah, it was fun. It was finally nice to see a nice version of Galactus that was not a cloud. I also had no problem with Jennifer Garner as the Silver Surfer, mostly because they did that. They had her as Shalabal, the Silver Surfer, in a couple of storylines in the comics. So once you do it in the comics and you put it on screen, I'm good. That's not a gender. They're
I'm
not gender
giving that
bending for the
credit.
sake of
It's
gender
one
bending. They're
page-
gender bending because it was a choice that was in a comic book.
It was 1 page of 1 comic book. That is not a story made. I think she did a great job, and it's fine because they clearly take place in a parallel universe. And obviously, we'll see some history correction after Secret Wars if the MCU can last that long. If I don't know, if the planet Mars doesn't show up to buy Disney, who knows at this point, or if Disney buys Mars, I don't know, because 2025 was the year of goddamn mergers. If Blackstone buys one more freaking thing, I could what is our government does nothing. Why do we have monopoly laws? Because ain't nobody doing nothing. I'm tired of you, Blackstone. Stop buying every goddamn thing. Stop buying everything. All right. Good Lord, they buy everything, and I'm just sick of it. And when they're not buying it, other people are buying it. How can you own PSA and then buy Beckett? Undespicable. Anyhow, the Fantastic Four movie. I had a great time watching the Fantastic Four movie. I'm gonna go in. It's a 7.5 for me. There are things I didn't like, but overall I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed this version of the Surfer. I enjoyed this version of the story we got. There are absolutely things I would change, but I think there's some people nitpick everything in this movie. And I don't think we should nitpick all of it in the movie. But I do ask this question. Are these people low-key fascist in their universe? And we're so caught up in their heroism that we don't think about what they're actually doing on that world? Because Reed Richards' science has influenced the entire society. Okay? They have UN meetings that are led by Susan. I just feel like there's a lot of stock on these people on that planet.
Good point. I agree with you on that. But they expect it to be the saviors. You know what I mean? Can you save us? Godlike, okay. I'm going to agree with you on that. What other superheroes are out there? What other good guys? You saw the villains, but what other good guys are out there?
Well, it looks like there are no other good guys on that world. And whenever we see the consulates together, there is no Victor Von Doom. There is no one from Latveria. They show us the empty Latveria seat.
Mm-hmm. But we see Doom. We do get a hooded Doom at the very last scene in the movie talking to Franklin.
I know. And what's that nasty dude up to? We're gonna find out a movie or two from now.
You know what my complaint is? That there was never a tie-in to them to the MCU. There was I thought at some point, somehow at the very end, they'd get sucked through a wormhole or something, and hey, they're hanging out with the Avengers.
No, it's the end of the Thunderbolts that lets us know that they're part of the MCU.
I think I must forget that scene. They saw the Fantastic Four at the end of the Thunderbolts.
The end credit scene of the Thunderbolts is, hey, something's coming in, put it on the screen, and it's
the Excelsior one.
Yeah,
it's the Excelsior one. Yeah. It's the Excelsior one. That's true.
Now, what's interesting is that the Fantastic Four looking for Franklin? Is that Doom with Franklin having stolen their ship? We don't even know. We just know it's coming.
Possibility to possible.
Yes. So that was hot stuff. Leaving us with only one more item, and it's my personal favorite item, and that is Superman.
Yes.
I love this movie. And by the way, I'm going first. I love this movie. I love this gorgeous young man. I love Lois Lane. I love Rachel Brosnahan. Since I saw the first episode of The Marvelous Miss Maisel, I was like, this bitch can play Lois Lane. And she did. Okay. I love that Lois didn't need to be rescued every 5 seconds. All right. I love that she got to play the hero. I love that Mr. Terrific was wonderful. I don't care that he stole scenes. I love him. I had a great time with Crypto. He was a bit much, but I still love him. I have rewatched this movie several times. Okay. I enjoyed Perry White. I enjoyed the essence of the Daily Planet. I enjoyed the John Williams remixathon music that I call, but it worked. It worked. Lex over the top, and I loved it. All right. Homegirl, Miss Tessmacher doing it. Riz, freaking Jimmy Olsen. I'm here for it all day. I have loved that kid forever. Since the Santa Clarita died, I love him on that show. Oh my god! I even love the falafel guy. Okay, I enjoyed all the interesting twists and references to the original Superman, the movie. Like, rather than Miss Tessmacher being like, "Oh my god, I promised to save my mother in New Jersey first," it was like, "Oh my god, he just shot that dude in the head." It's like, "Can you save my son?" Like, all of that. Love that shit. I was here for it. I was there for it. I was everywhere for it. The fact that heroism took place because people were inspired by Superman's actions, I think, is really important. And I feel like a lot of people missed out on that. Kilted Corgi says 5 out of 5. I'm on 5 out of 5 with you. You know, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I have watched this movie maybe 22 times. Okay. I went for the Amazon preview night. All right. Then I went and saw it. And I'm the only theater I did not see this in, because it was just too much time and too much money. I did not get to see this movie in 4DX, but I watched in every other format possible, and I loved it. Okay. And then I thought, the fourth time I watched it, I was like, oh no, is this where I realized I hate this movie? No. It's where I realized that I still love this movie. All right. And the fact that I just have it playing around in my house whenever I want, because I bought the digital copy the first day, on day one that they made digital available. I bought it because I support shit, even when evil corporations own it, because I love this goddamn movie. All right. Final thoughts. Love it. Mr. Terrific. Love it. Can't wait to see what else they got up their sleeves. Love it. Excited for Supergirl. Yes, bitch. Love it. All right, there we go. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next.
Drop the mic, Cliffy. Drop the mic, buddy. Boom. Drop the mic.
How do you follow that? All right. So also, I felt this was a really superior movie. I love this movie. I was nervous going into this movie. I'm like, Superman is a tough nut to crack. It can be boring if not done correctly. It can be hokey if not done correctly. They were throwing a lot of characters at us. I know Cliff and I had discussions. They were adding all those people from the Justice Gang, and we didn't know if they were going to work out or how they were going to add to the story. But God damn it, James Gunn did it. He somehow wrote this cohesive story with good actors, and David Corenswet is the new Superman. He brings hope again. I love the fact that, much respect to Henry Cavill's version, but it always bothered me that he had no problem like just letting wherever he was and whatever he battled get destroyed. And this Superman personified the guy was like, I need to protect property. I need to get away, get the bad creature away. Even when there was that huge, monstrous thing that went from a little guy to a big guy that he was fighting, he was making sure people were okay. He was making sure squirrels were okay, making sure dogs were okay. Superman cared about people first over himself. And that was really evident and really brought through in this story. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. Again, I loved Jimmy's Riz, just like Cliff said. Mr. Terrific was fantastic. He was cool as a cucumber and powerful as hell. I love that scene that everyone says he was a scene stealer for, because it was a great scene. I did not think that there was too much Crypto. I loved Crypto. Crypto was great. He was just a little pain in the ass, obnoxious little dog with superpowers. What else did I love? Oh, my one complaint in the movie, I didn't think there was going to be, I thought it was a near perfect movie, but when I first saw the movie, Ma and Pa Kent, they seem so Hick-like. It killed me. I was like, oh man, this is the one thing James he whiffed it. And then like a week later, I see James doing an interview. Now, if anyone's an old school Howard Stern fan, he modeled Ma and Pa Kent after Howard Stern writer Richard Christie's parents.
Yes.
So if you were a Howard Stern fan and his parents were from, I think they were from Kansas City or Kentucky, and they had those thick accents, and it's spot on. It's spot on. So that has turned now my negative into a positive. Context makes the difference. It's like a 9.8. I love it. I rarely give anything that high a rating, but this was a tremendous movie.
Yeah,
that's my
holy
spiel.
cow. You know what, you guys? We're gonna go for the full sweep on this. I've probably watched this movie in certain parts over a dozen times, and I'm gonna say this: for me, it's not about the Superman character. It's about everybody else around Superman. Okay. It's about the world of that Metropolis brings to you. I'm a huge dog lover. I mean, my girl Maxine is my girl. I've had 2 other dogs in my life. And let me tell you, I love Crypto. You put Crypto in anything and I'm going to watch it. You put Crypto on a cover of a book, I'll buy it. A superhero dog, like the whole trailer. Like when I first think about the trailer, when he drops and gets his ass kicked and he whistles and you see this in the trailer, I still get goosebumps from it, you guys, because I'm such a dog lover and it's just amazing. And you waited, and then Crypto shows up and he's beaten down and he starts jumping on him because the dog is so happy that, he's there. And then you find out about the turn with the whole Crypto thing. And I'm going to tell you, the Fortress is like, all right, I'm going to back this up. I'm going to really, really back this up because Christopher Reeves and Adam West, other than my mother and father and grandmother, are probably 2 of the most important people in my life. I've met Adam West twice in my life. I've never met Christopher Reeves, but Christopher Reeves is the whole reason I thought a man could fly. I grew up to that. I have amazing memories of my mother bringing me to the theater when Lois Lane is falling from the helicopter and he's flying up and he goes, "I've got you." And she says, "You've got me." Well, who's got you? And sitting next to my mother, who's been gone since I was 24 years old, just like laughing out loud about it, is some of the reasons why Superman is embedded in my being. Like, is Superman my favorite character? No. Is Superman one of the reasons why I'm a huge comic book fan? Yes. And going into this, and I brought my whole family with me, my 3 teenagers, my wife because of the Crypto, and the kids because they wanted to go, and just seeing it and listening to them talk about how they were huge Mr. Terrific fans, or how my wife was so into the Crypto character. Me and my wife sitting there, let's not forget, I've been married almost 25 years with my wife since I was 15. When Lois tries to interview Superman as she's Clark, but tries to interview him, and this conversation goes sideways. How many times have you been around a conversation with your significant other and trying to have this open-minded conversation, and yet somebody hits the nerve and you're like, whoa, this is just flipped. That scene itself is so iconic to the world we live in. Nicholas Hoult, you have to have a great villain. He was an awesome Luthor. You have to have a strong villain, and he's sitting right there. He takes Crypto. Superman blows the door down. He's calm as could be, and he goes, "Where's the dog, Luthor?" And he goes, just sitting there here he is, Lex Luthor, just a human, lovely dog with the strongest being you've ever seen, 4 feet from you, about to kill you, and he's as cool as can be. To bring in the Justice League, the issue where Green Lantern Guy Gardner gets into, Superman's face and says, "Make a move, Big Blue." That is directly from the comic books, you guys. The whole Kryptonian thing I thought was interesting. The twist, I kind of didn't understand, but I understand, and I know why they did it. It took me a little bit to realize that, okay, that's part of the story. But to me, the Metamorpho, the Hawk Girl, I mean, just everything about this. I watched this movie. This is a movie that I watch in parts because I just love all certain parts of it. All the battle scenes, even in the intro, it was so George Lucas, like from the planet Hoth, where like Superman drops and it gives you 3 million years ago, or 3 million, 3 minutes ago, or 3 hours ago. Yes. I mean, it catches you right up to it, you guys. I'm telling you, this is my favorite movie of the year. That's pretty much it. Yes, and exactly. Kudos to you who just said that. Black Spider 75. Yes, Christopher Reeve's son was in the movie in a cameo. That was amazing. Yes, as a reporter. My God, like the whole Lois Lane, Miss Tessmacher taking selfies, like click, like just pop, like it was so true today. They're battling.
Meant something. They weren't BS. Yeah. They were all like, "Yo, I got all his plans."
And they're fighting Superman like they're fighting video gamers. Like, I'm old, you guys. My son's a gamer. Like, hiring his boys to battle Superman is just like a video game. Dude, know the XYZ combos. I'm going to hire the smartest video gamers to beat up Superman. They don't know it's Superman. They're just playing a video game to them. That's how I think. That's how I think this whole thing played together. And you know what, you guys, we're all on the same page on this. I'm going to watch this movie. I'm probably going to watch this movie when we get off tonight because I just love every bit of it. And then at the end, or how about what did Superman name the droid? Alan, what's his name? What did he say his name?
Gary. Number 4,
Gary. And he goes, "We are merely just automatons. We could care less if the dog lives or breathes." You know what I mean? And then she comes home. Supergirl comes home and, "Where's my dog?" And then they leave together. Like, that was something that I didn't know about. And that's why I'm not paying attention to all these doomsday trailers and all these things. I don't know what's real and what's not, but I didn't want to know that. And to have Supergirl come in to grab Krypto and then to leave like that, I mean, punch my ticket, man. This was as much fun as a fun movie could be. So that's all I got to say about that.
Everyone loved it. Boy, it's funny you just mentioned Alan Tudyk, Otto, because about a month back, I was just in a parking lot doing.
Yes, I'd like to hear the story. I saw the picture of it.
Yeah, I'm picking up a food delivery on the weekend at this just random restaurant, and I noticed like this New York Yankees hat, but it had like a little bit of a different logo that I hadn't recognized before, but it was clearly a Yankees hat, and that's what I spotted going into the restaurant. So, and I'm parked right in front of the restaurant, and this guy is sitting outside, like under umbrellas, like in an outside seating situation. And as I go back to my car, I look back at him, and I'm like, that's Alan Tudyk. So I spoke up because I'm such a quiet, demure flower.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Alan," and he kind of looks at me and kind of like smiles that I can. And just like you with the guy from the Turtles,
yes,
I've interviewed way bigger actors than Alan Tudyk before and never got verklempt. People that meant a lot more to me, but I don't know if it was in that moment that I was just so surprised to see him in the wild versus not at a convention.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like, "Did you move to the area?" And he's like, No, I'm just visiting my sister and we're having dinner." And I didn't realize until afterwards, it was also his wife was with him too, who was also famous for doing like, I think she designed the dance thing for the John Cena in the beginning. I think she does like
did the choreograph.
Yeah, she's a choreographer.
Wow. And he's the one who performed it for them.
Right.
Really?
From the dance,
So I was
yes.
all verklempt. I'm trying to tell them about a thing that I did that got a couple million views, and I know it just came out as blah 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 blah. And
It
he
happens,
was
man.
so nice, and he's like, "You want to take a picture?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." So we come over, and he's like, "Let me see your phone. Let's see if the lighting's good." And I had it on video, so I ended up with like a 60-second of video of us kind of like setting it up and me making like funny faces at the camera. And yeah. So that was my moment with
That's
Alan
great,
Tudyk.
though.
And he couldn't have been nicer, genuine, and appreciative of. Even though I know I was a babbling retard, I hope I get to bump into him again and have a better interaction. But that's
But that's awesome, though, man. That is, but that's what and I think you would hope for when you meet these people out there, because we're just fanboys and. Call me Gary, or we're mindless automatons. We don't care if the dog lives or dies. Like the way you said it was just amazing. So, dude, that's a great story, man. I've been dying to ask you about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But the last thing I wanted to wrap up with you guys was I really love the Supergirl trailer. And I don't know if we've all read Superman, Woman of Tomorrow. And I've got to refresh myself on it. I think I read it when it first came out. But that trailer looked like that goddamn comic book.
Okay. So I haven't read it. Chinmo and I talked about it over on 3MIB. Chinmo read it. He's read it. I'm going to actually get it. My LCS has it. I just haven't picked it up yet. I've been gone. I'm definitely going to give it a read. Let me tell you, you start off anything with Blondie, you dropped it. You do a mic drop with Blondie starting off. And again, not a James Gunn movie, but a James Gunn-ish movie with a great soundtrack and that character. And I love how they're saying, what do they say? Superman sees the good in everybody. She sees the truth, right?
Yes.
Like, yes. And I think that is very, stoic, important about how we are in society and how people like go through things. So let me tell you, I'm all in on this. I'm all in. Like, I can't wait for the soundtrack. I can't wait for you. Give me more Crypto. You give me Jason Momoa as Lobo, as whatever you're going to do with him. I think this is going to be a home effing run, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait.
Hey, Cliff, I know you got something to say.
Oh no, I love it. I'm ready. I'm like, let's get there. Let's do it.
That's it. That's your run on Supergirl.
I just don't know if there's anything else to say. Like, I'm excited. I love the story, and I don't care about Lobo, and I don't think Lobo is going to be a big part of this movie. I think the man looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, but I would listen. I'm a fan of the I am an unabashed fan of the Supergirl CW show. I'm going to tell you, Crisis on Infinite Earth. What's that?
That last season.
Yeah.
That last season is I have never felt like watching a show was a chore the way I had to push myself through the last season of Supergirl.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you on it. It was tough, but moving into it, it was good. Like, the storyline was great. The way they talked about her, her and Kat were great. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was fun to watch. So going into this, that's why I think it's just going to be so much fun. And listen, when Crisis on Infinite Earth came out, and when Supergirl died, like, that was a book that I was reading right off the rack. And Marv Wolfman, George Perez, you want to talk about hitting you guys in the feels? Holy fucking shit, man. Go back and read.
I still cry when I read it, and I read Crisis every year.
And the teaser trailer we just got like 2 days ago with Captain America. I don't know.
I don't know what's real.
I didn't feel moved at all.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys, I am not watching any trailers for this Doomsday because I don't know what's real and what's fake. And I got my son, my 21-year-old, who's like, Dad, this is going to happen because of this. And I'm like, Ev, I can't wrap my head around this. So I am going to stay away as much as possible for any of these trailers because this AI, all these other things have got me so twisted that I don't know if I'm in the Matrix or not, but I'm just going to stay away. And to say that I got a year to try to do that, it's going to be rough, but I'm going to try to do my best.
I just want to tell you, that this one real non-CGI trailer featuring Captain America is the most boring shit. I don't care. Y'all are lame. You have screwed your pooch on this. You're trying to lure us back with Robert Downey Jr. and my ever sexy Chris Evans. I know I'm going to show up there for America's ass because I love that man, you know, and he's got more than just ass, as we all know from the leaks on X. But like there's like what is the point to the story? I don't even know. Like, you know, we were supposed to be building to Kang, and then shit went haywire, and now, oh look here, this is where we're at. Like, I'm gonna go watch
Skeptic,
but I'm gonna be very critical when I'm watching.
I see.
All right.
I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna have bitch face, and I'm gonna eat popcorn with bitch face.
So a year from now, Clippy, we can review it, okay? A year from now.
I hope so. Well, you know what, Otto? Maybe I'll come to Connecticut and watch it with you. Let's make a date.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
And then you can
We'll do a live out of the theater reaction.
Like I'll be there with the big ass popcorn, and you can watch me live eat with bitch face. Look at Robert Downey Jr. like he's actually doing something. This story makes no sense. None. He's just looking good. Just reminding people that he can act.
You're already pissed off about this.
Oh, I know. My bar is so low that if they fail me at my low bar, like I'm gonna leave that theater like it's over. The MCU is officially dead.
You have a whole year to grind your gears on this, buddy. You have a whole year to get yourself all wound up.
You know what? And they re-releases at the same time as Supergirl. And Supergirl better not let me down either, but at least I'm excited for Supergirl.
Okay.
So, you know, I thought about this in the beginning of December. I was like, listen, I want to do an end of the year thing, and I want to do something that I've never done before. So I thought if I took 3 A personalities and put them together, and we'll see what happens. And I got to say, for all of us, nobody really stepped on each other's toes. I'm very proud of all of us. And I thought this was pretty fun and entertaining.
I'll tell you.
Well, that's because Otto and I are seasoned professionals.
Look, I'm
an award-winning seasoned professional.
Okay. I don't have one of those. I'm just happy that somebody else asked me to come on a channel, and I don't have to promote and like get yelled at by Chinmo for all the things I do wrong. So, gentlemen, I have had a thoroughly enjoyable time talking about these movies with you guys. And thank you very much. I'm very thankful that you guys invited me on.
Azteca. We're all watching it.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to whatever comes out in 2026.
Whether it be something excellent like Supergirl or something mediocre like Avengers Doomsday. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, boys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
That's
all right.
right.
Well, thank you for having me on, guys. I certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. We had a great time.
All right.
And as usual, folks, read your comics, and I love you. See you soon. Oh, tomorrow at noontime, it's me and Carla. We're going to be talking about the Zelda Awards. Check it out then. Everyone